Chapter 1626. Wu Yong's Loss. Fang Yuan's actions shocked Tao Zhu immensely. Where did this soul path Gu immortal come from? He severely injured a rank 8 Gu immortal with just one attack. Such imposing demonic might. Even spectral soul was merely at this level when he was young. I didn't expect this young man, who looks so delicate, to be so vicious and have such peerless methods. He must have committed many sins, or else why would Southern Border's righteous path attack him on such a scale? Noticing this, Tao Zhu's will became frightened. For the first time, he felt that the pillars of light around him were so glaring. My main body had made this arrangement for the convenience of the inheritor. Oh, who could have expected this situation to happen at the moment the inheritance activated? What did I do to deserve this? Was it easy for my main body to make such a painstaking arrangement? Tao Zhu's will immediately felt lonely and helpless. In this situation, let alone him, a mere will, even his main body would have to stay away from this conflict. The implications were too deep and troublesome. He could not rashly get involved. Tao Zhu's will was frightened, dejectedly curling inside the pillars while mumbling, "Don't look at me. Don't look at me." Why would the Gu immortals have the time or mood to look at him? Fang Yuan had captured the rank 8 Gu immortal Jun Xinguang in front of everyone. Such terrifying battle strength made the rank 7 Gu immortals have parched mouths, and even the rank 8s were dazed. How can we defeat such a powerful enemy? If I stake my life and something unexpected happens, what will happen to the clan? Other rank 8s will keep their lives while I will be wasting mine for them. When Fang Yuan was rank 7 and could fight rank 8 with reverse flow protection seal, Southern Border's rank 8 Gu immortals could accept this level of battle strength. But it was completely different now. Fang Yuan was not only a rank 8 Gu immortal, he also possessed a mysterious and powerful method that seemed to be a soul path method. And it made a great combination with lead soul into dream. Jun Xinguang's example was right in front of them. The Southern Border rank 8 Gu immortals could also very well fall to Fang Yuan's vicious methods. At the crucial moment, the deep-seated problem for Southern Border's righteous path emerged again. They were forces who had prioritized themselves for too long. A heavy wariness against each other was already ingrained deep in their bones, even if they realized the necessity of an alliance. Faced with a choice at this time, these rank 8 Gu immortals all felt hesitation. These Southern Border rank 8 Gu immortals hesitated, but Fang Yuan had no hesitation. He laughed loudly as he turned around and charged towards Wu Yong. "Wu Yong, what did you say earlier? This is my graveyard?" "Haha, I think it is the opposite. This is your graveyard. Come, let's settle the score once and for all." Fang Yuan gave a loud shout, his voice resounding throughout the 5 regional mountain range like thunder. His white robe and hair fluttered in the wind. His demonic aura and surging killing intent shocked the immortals. 3 Chi Chu Yu, Shang Wu Jie, and other rank 8 Gu immortals looked at Fang Yuan targeting Wu Yong, feeling complicated. They were tense, but also could not help feeling a slight relief as all kinds of thoughts lingered in their minds. Fang Yuan might be powerful, but he was only one man in the end. Moreover, Chi Chu Yu had transacted with Fang Yuan before to in the current Southern Alliance. The Alliance leader's position was empty, and Wu Yong was undoubtedly the #1 choice for it. If he became the Alliance leader, who knew how he would treat the other clans? Southern Border had always been divided. The biggest problem in working together were the mental hurdles and self-interest of the respective Gu immortals. When 2 tigers fought, one was definitely going to be injured. Whether the injured one was Fang Yuan or Wu Yong, it was beneficial to other clans. Moreover, it could not be said we had not come to aid. Aren't we being hindered by immemorial year beasts? Useless bunch. Wu Yong inwardly cursed when he saw no one coming to his aid. But he did not fear Fang Yuan. Instead, his courage and battle intent were stirred. "Let me see what method you used to capture a rank 8 Gu immortal." Wu Yong took out clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building and controlled this immortal Gu house to charge straight at Fang Yuan. Although Fang Yuan had a mysterious immortal Gu house, it absolutely would not be able to survive a collision with clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building. His eyes flashed with a sinister light as he suddenly changed his direction and flew down. Clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building's momentum was too fierce and fast as it missed its target. "Wu Yong, You are safe with the immortal Gu house to protect you. In that case, how about I kill these rank 7 immortals? Can you save them? Ha ha ha. Fang Yuan laughed madly. Damn it. Wu Yong quickly changed the direction of clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building and chased after Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan continued. Wu Yong, you have such a huge ambition. You established the Southern Border Alliance to become its leader, right? Let's see if you will still have the face left to become the alliance leader after I kill these people. Fang Yuan had not actually made any real attacks at Wu Yong, but his words were like blades that stabbed deeply in Wu Yong's heart that Wu Yong had led the Southern Border Immortals to besiege and kill Fang Yuan. On one hand, it was because he had deep hatred towards Fang Yuan. On the other hand, it was to accumulate reputation to pave the road to the position of alliance leader. But if he let Fang Yuan kill these rank 7 Gu immortals while he remained safe inside clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building without being able to do anything to Fang Yuan, his reputation was sure to take a huge hit, and he would be even further from the position of alliance leader. Wu Yong was anxious and furious, almost pacing around in clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building. Although clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building was extremely fast and was rapidly catching up to Fang Yuan, Fang Yuan had already reached those rank 7 Gu immortals. Persevere. Am I going to die? Not necessarily. There are many Gu immortals here. We still have hope of survival. Fang Yuan had yet to attack, but these rank 7 Gu immortals' morale had already dissipated. They did not have any thought of counterattacking and were only thinking of how to preserve their lives. The scene of Fang Yuan capturing a central continent rank 8 Gu immortal was truly horrifying. Go die. Fang Yuan's shout suddenly stopped. The moment of danger. A dense yellowish-brown radiance suddenly appeared under the Southern Border Immortals and firmly protected them. This was a rank 8 defensive killer move. Fang Yuan, why commit more murders? You kill me, I kill you. This cycle is too pitiful and miserable. You are an outstanding person of this era. Why can't you see through this? Lu Weiyin's figure appeared not far away. You again. Fang Yuan gazed fiercely at Lu Weiyin. Boom. At the next moment, clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building flew over like a meteor and carried with it Wu Yong's intense hatred and anger, heavily collided with Fang Yuan's back. Immortal killer move. Reverse flow protection seal. Fang Yuan was completely safe. The attack was reflected back to clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building. But the enormous collision force sent Fang Yuan flying like a cannonball that Wu Yong was suddenly at ease. He had sent Fang Yuan away from these rank 7 Gu immortals, and it would be even more difficult for him to attack these people. But soon, Lu Weiyin's voice reached him. Not good. This is Fang Yuan's plan. He is escaping. Wu Yong's expression immediately turned ashen as he helplessly looked at Fang Yuan smoothly charging into that immortal aperture. The moment he entered, the immortal aperture's entrance loudly closed. Fang Yuan is too crafty, since he put an ambush here. How could he not have arranged an escape route? He entered the immortal aperture because he must have a way to escape, like fixed immortal travel. Veins popped up on Wu Yong's forehead. He felt extremely stifled. Immortal apertures had always been easy to defend and hard to attack, especially an immortal aperture that had its entrance closed. Naturally, Southern Border's Righteous Path group could break into this blessed land. But Fang Yuan already had enough time to escape. Wu Yong had gathered such a large team but still failed. Not only was he unable to harm a single hair of Fang Yuan, a central continent rank 8 Gu immortal was captured right in front of everyone. This was simply a kick to Wu Yong's face. What is more insufferable is this guy. Wu Yong's dark gaze stared at Lu Weiyin that he suddenly spoke. Lu Weiyin, why didn't you stop him? Lu Weiyin quickly greeted as he said slowly, I am ashamed. I already used all my strength to protect these Southern Border friends. I truly did not have strength left to obstruct him. Lu Weiyin was instantly swarmed with countless expressions of gratitude from the Southern Border Gu immortals. Wu Yong breathed heavily in anger. His fists were tightly clenched, but he could do nothing to Lu Weiyin. Lu Weiyin had a terrifying background of being Paradise Earth's inheritor and was the competitor who possessed the greatest threat to Wu Yong's dream of taking the alliance leader position. That Wu Yong had led the immortals to besiege Fang Yuan, but had left Lu Weiyin behind so he could. more easily accumulate prestige. But the result was, Fang Yuan escaped while Wu Yong gained nothing. His reputation suffered while Lu Wei-yin was the complete opposite. Wu Yong's gaze shined sharply as if lightning sparks were flashing inside. After a while, he sighed and let his body relax. The anger on his face completely disappeared while his battle intent soared inwardly. A faint smile appeared on his lips as he clapped, thinking, Fang Yuan, Lu Wei-yin, you two are truly something. I lost this round entirely because of you two. Chapter 1627, Z Wei's Lingering Fear. Chapter 1627, Z Wei's Lingering Fear. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios, how could this be? How could this be? When information of the southern border battle reached her, Fairy Z Wei kept on mumbling in perplexity. The vast and bright hall was now filled with doubts. Fang Yuan had not only passed the tribulation, becoming rank 8, he had even laid a trap in the 5 regional mountain range and captured Heavenly Court Gu Immortal Jun Xinguang. Fairy Z Wei already knew of the southern border Gu Immortals being captured by Fang Yuan, but she had never imagined the same fate would befall her Heavenly Court so quickly that a Heavenly Court Gu Immortal was actually captured alive. How long has it been since this happened? The instant she learned of this news, Fairy Z Wei had subconsciously thought of the impressive battle achievements of multiple demon venerables. Her brows showed her worry, and there was even nervousness. Despite her estimating Fang Yuan highly, his growth had still greatly surpassed her expectations. Ever since Fang Yuan gained reverse flow protection seal, he has been huge trouble. Now that he has become rank 8, along with Xia Cha's methods, regardless of using the terrain advantage in the 5 regional mountain range to weaken his enemies, he indeed possesses a threat to Heavenly Court Gu Immortals. Fairy Z Wei heaved a deep sigh. She had already expected such a day, so she had tried all ways to eliminate this danger beforehand. But who could have expected Fang Yuan's progress to be so fast? Fang Yuan's progress is getting faster and faster. It seems like the quantitative change is becoming a qualitative change. But how in the world did he become a rank 8 without any commotion? Fairy Z Wei did not understand. She had always thought Fang Yuan's extremely fast cultivation progress was because he had used time path methods to quicken his immortal aperture's rate of time. But looking back over it, Fairy Z Wei suddenly realized Fang Yuan also had a peerless method that could raise his cultivation level. Then, what is this method? Fairy Z Wei did not continue deducing. Instead, she left the hall and arrived at Spectral Soul's confinement area. The large formation rumbled into motion. After a long while, Fairy Z Wei returned to her hall with a shaken expression. Sovereign Immortal Fetus Gu. Sovereign Immortal Aperture. So it was like this. Fairy Z Wei muttered to herself. She was dazed and her soul was shaken. Spectral Soul's ambition shocked her. What made her even more fearful was that Sovereign Immortal Fetus Gu had been refined and obtained by Fang Yuan. An intense bitterness emerged in her heart. Spectral Soul had really hidden it too deeply. If not for Fang Yuan revealing clues this time, which made Fairy Z Wei doubtful and use a specialized soul search, she would still have been in the dark. No wonder Fang Yuan's cultivation speed is so fast. This time, he should have annexed many southern border Gu Immortals' immortal apertures to skip tribulations and become a rank 8. He could activate Xia Cha's killer moves and confront other rank 8s head-on. This means he has annexed Xia Cha's immortal aperture. Only then would he have enough time path down marks to amplify Xia Cha's killer moves. Immortal apertures can only swallow smaller immortal apertures, but the sovereign immortal aperture is special. But devouring Xia Cha's rank 8 Grotto Heaven would require time path Great Grandmaster attainment. How could Fang Yuan have it? Wait. Suddenly, Fairy Z Wei's expression became extremely unsightly. All kinds of clues merged in her mind and removed her previous bewilderment. Fang Yuan has dream path methods and can raise his attainment level through dream realms. No wonder he entered southern border and plundered dream realms. His time path Great Grandmaster attainment was definitely gained from dream realms. Gasp. Thinking of this, even Fairy Z Wei, who held a high status and was very experienced, could not help taking in a cold breath. Fang Yuan had the sovereign immortal aperture and could devour apertures to skip calamities and tribulations. And the biggest obstacle in devouring apertures was the attainment level of the respective paths that it was extremely difficult to raise attainment level and often required hundreds of years. But Fang Yuan could quickly raise his attainment level through dream realms. Like this, he could create a beneficial cycle. His cultivation speed could rise to a level where it could raise a terrifying wave even in the entire history of human cultivation. No, more accurately, what is terrifying is spectral soul. Fang Yuan was only a chess piece of Heaven's will to destroy spectral soul's heaven-defying plan. It was just that he escaped Heaven's will's control in the end. Fairy Ziwei felt a chill. Heavenly Court had already confined spectral soul, and Fairy Ziwei would also frequently torture and soul search to extract important information from spectral soul. But despite this, Fairy Ziwei was feeling deep, lingering fear that if spectral soul had truly succeeded, he would have great grandmaster attainment level in all paths. With his extreme killing nature, he could continue devouring apertures, and along with Shadow Sect and Zombie Alliance's resources, he could totally go straight to rank 8. At this level, spectral soul would have pseudo-venerable battle strength. More importantly, when the 5 regions chaotic war starts and dream realms appear everywhere, spectral soul might even be able to progress further. His huge ambition could be felt just by looking at Lead's soul into dream. He had already made countless preparations in this aspect. If he truly reached this step, his dominance would be too large. Even the great dream seed Feng Jin Huang might have no chance to mature. Fortunately, he was not able to make the breakthrough during the most important juncture. Currently, Fang Yuan is taking his place in this plan, so it is more accurate to say that he did not succeed, but he did not completely fail either. Fairy Ziwei frowned deeply when she thought of Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan gave up on those southern border Gu immortals and instead prioritized capturing Jun Xinguang. His action is similar to me soul-searching spectral soul. He wants to get the location of Heavenly Court from Jun Xinguang's soul. Oh no, the river of time. The tumultuous river was always flowing. It was so vast that its ends could not be seen. From inside an immortal Gu house, Fang Yuan quietly looked at the ebb and flow of the river and its countless dazzling ripples. The river of time. After entering the immortal aperture and gaining some free time, Fang Yuan used an immortal killer move made with fixed immortal travel to escape the battleground. Not long later, he entered the river of time. Right now, Jun Xinguang's soul was facing constant soul, searching inside his sovereign immortal aperture. Know yourself and your enemy, and you will never be defeated. Fang Yuan urgently needed to know what arrangements Heavenly Court had made in the river of time. I laid an ambush in the 5 regional mountain range and fought a large battle. Although I captured Jun Xinguang, I revealed too much information. Fang Yuan wanted to catch Heavenly Court off guard and not give them enough time to respond, so he directly entered the river of time in this short time period. This Lu Wei-yin is not simple. His action was too timely, saving those southern border rank 7s at the most critical time. He was probably hiding nearby all along. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable had a merciful and compassionate nature. He restored peace to the chaotic world and repaired the damage done by spectral soul in all 5 regions. In the 5 regions, and especially southern border, among the 10 venerables, his reputation is the highest. As his current inheritor, Lu Wei-yin has inherited this reputation as well. This person is going against me, but his true goal does not look to be so simple and is hidden in a layer of fog. Unfortunately, there is no such person in the memories of my previous life. The more he thought, the more Fang Yuan felt his 500 years of memories were not reliable. Naturally, there was also the possibility that the butterfly effect of his rebirth had spread until it involved Lu Wei-yin. Fang Yuan slightly shook his head, forgetting about Lu Wei-yin for the moment, and thought of Tao Zhu's inheritance that he felt a huge regret. Tao Zhu's true inheritance was definitely related to the 5 regions' regional walls. The 5 regions' regional walls would disappear without a trace in the future, and the 5 regions would merge into one. Tao Zhu's research in crossing the regional walls would look like a joke. But think about it carefully. Tao Zhu could construct the 5 regional mountain range. Couldn't this method of imitating the regional walls be used to defend oneself? Especially for Fang Yuan, fighting in regional walls was extremely advantageous. It is a pity, a true pity. The situation did not allow me to take this inheritance. I had missed this true inheritance of Tao Zhu by a hair's breadth. Fang Yuan's wisdom path attainment was not low. He had a strong premonition that missing this chance to obtain Tao Zhu's inheritance was a severe loss to him. Chapter 1628, Present and Past Pavilion for Xuanzi. Tao Zhu's true inheritance. If this was months ago, Fang Yuan might be able to use the southern border Gu immortals to exchange for this inheritance. But now, the southern border captives that he had were already annexed. He had already killed the hostages. These southern border Gu immortals were all rank 7 Gu immortal experts, while Xiacha had rank 8 cultivation level. The sovereign immortal aperture annexed them as well as the immortal aperture blessed lands and city well. Fang Yuan's cultivation level rose rapidly. He went from rank 7 to rank 8, skipping the final rank 7 Grand Tribulation. Fang Yuan originally planned to continue capturing southern border Gu immortals in the 5 regional mountain range before extorting them. But because of Lu Weiyin, Fang Yuan's plan was disrupted. Not only did his cultivation level rise, because the sovereign immortal aperture could annex his enemies perfectly, Fang Yuan's Dao marks also rose in huge numbers, using perceivable Dao immortal Gu to check them. Fang Yuan's current Dao mark accumulation was extremely deep. He originally had very little time path Dao marks, almost at the bottom, but it had emerged to become his number 1 path, having 73,000 Dao marks. Almost all of it was Xiacha's contribution. He had truly become wealthy from one single robbery. With so many time path Dao marks, Fang Yuan's time path killer moves could be amplified by 74 times. Along with the rank 8 Gu Spring and Summer, his battle strength was extremely high now. Within the 5 regional mountain range, he managed to block the attacks of many Gu immortals at once. Of course, he had made use of the territorial advantage of the 5 regional walls trait. The southern border Gu immortals could not work together well and conflicted with each other. The second was water path Dao marks, reaching 60,000. He had a lot of water path accumulations. Fang Yuan had killed lone immortals Zhou Li, Wu Yihai, Yu Chan, and others, while many of the Eastern Sea lone immortals and city well were also water path cultivators. Third was transformation path, having 50,000. It was originally first place, but had fallen to third place now. Fourth was soul path at 30,000. The immortal aperture's own Dao marks, as well as the yellow spring ghost martial statue, earthly calamity, and green lightning divine martial statue, heavenly tribulation, along with other accumulations, added up to 29,000. The remaining hundreds were obtained from Fang Yuan's soul cultivation. According to Spectral Soul's true inheritance, after Million Man Soul, 10 Million Man Soul, 100 Million Man Soul, and Desolate Soul, after reaching Desolate Soul, there would be 1,000 Dao marks on the soul. Next were Ice and Snow Path, Rule Path, Metal Path, Wood Path, Fire Path, Wind Path, and other common paths. They had about 20,000. After that were Dark Path, Light Path, Strength Path, Chi Path, Luck Path, Sound Path, Bloodlight, and others, being around 10,000. And finally, Food Path, Phantom Path, and others were in the thousands and hundreds category. Next, the Dream Realms. Fang Yuan had already explored all of his dream realms in these few months. All of his different paths had grown to certain extents. The highest was still Refinement Path at Quasi-Supreme Grandmaster attainment level. Second were Theft Path and Time Path at Great Grandmaster level. Third were Blood Path, Strength Path, Star Path, Wisdom Path, and others. They were all at Grandmaster level. Rule Path and Soul Path also entered this category. The paths below that will not be explained in detail. Unlike Dao marks, attainment level was harder to raise as it got higher. The ones with the most evident growth were Time Path, Soul Path, and Rule Path. Other than Dao marks and Dream Realms, Fang Yuan's development of the Sovereign Immortal Aperture had also risen greatly due to his annexing of immortal apertures. It had reached 15% development, and worth noting was that in Xia Cha's Immortal Aperture, Fang Yuan found a year essence pool. This way, Fang Yuan's Sovereign Immortal Aperture had 2-year essence pools. Other than these, Fang Yuan's greatest gains were 2 things. Point 1 was Luo Pasil. Fang Yuan had always been trying to create this immortal killer move. He only succeeded recently. The other was an incomplete immortal Gu house. Fang Yuan had wanted to build his own immortal goo house long ago, so that He Lulan, by Ning Bing, and the rest could fight in battle with him. To create this immortal goo house, Fang Yuan took reference from secluded residence, Cloud City, Dark Flow Giant City, Profound Ice House, Unbreakable Iron Fortress, Blood River Chariot, Nightmare Castle, Green Wave Pavilion, Weaving Cocoon Manor, Golden Altar, Regret Pool, Sacred Feather City, Baihe Palace, and other immortal goo houses. While the skeleton of the design was based on graceful chaotic dual stage, several months ago, while extorting Southern Border's righteous path to exchange goo for goo, Fang Yuan obtained many crucial immortal goo that allowed him to create the skeleton. This immortal goo house was created by Fang Yuan himself. It was unprecedented. Because he needed to enter the river of time, it mainly used time path immortal goo. It had a comprehensive range of abilities and most excelled in concealment. Even though it was only a skeleton now, it had great battle strength in the 5 regional mountain range. Ying Wuxie and the rest relied on this to cooperate with Fang Yuan, successfully capturing Jun Xinguang. In the river of time, waves rose and fell, water splattered everywhere, creating beautiful rainbow light. Fang Yuan rode in the incomplete immortal goo house as he traveled slowly in the river. The rank 6 time path clone had already emerged from the sovereign immortal aperture, standing beside him as he shut his eyes. Sensing internally, Red Lotus Demon Venerable had left behind many true inheritances scattered in the river of time. Spring Autumn Cicada was the key to finding them. But the river of time was extremely huge. In order to find the several stone lotus islands, other than luck, he also needed lots of time and energy to explore. It would be best if we could find a Red Lotus true inheritance in this exploration of the river of time. But most importantly, we need to test Heavenly Court's arrangements and catch them off guard. If possible, we need to destroy their arrangements. Fang Yuan thought as he searched Jun Xinguang's soul in the sovereign immortal aperture. Jun Xinguang's soul originally had light path down marks to protect it, but after Fang Yuan's Luo Pa seal struck, the defense was destroyed. At the same time, Jun Xinguang's soul was injured. He was on the verge of death. Precisely so. After Ying Wuxie used Lead's soul into dream, Jun Xinguang was directly hit and fell asleep. The condition to use Lead's soul into dream killer move was to sense the soul and compare the strength between the enemy's soul and the user to determine the success. Being able to deal such damage to a rank 8 goo immortal, it showed how powerful Luo Pa seal was. However, compared to Reverse Flow Protection Seal, and seeing how Fang Yuan used Luo Pa Valley as the core of this move, it was not very surprising that it had such power. Right now, Jun Xinguang's soul was extremely weak. He could not defend against Fang Yuan's method. Information was obtained by Fang Yuan continuously. What arrangements did Heavenly Court make? Jun Xinguang must know about them. A moment later, Fang Yuan's brows eased as he found something. Oh? Time path, immortal goo house, present and past pavilion. He had just thought of this when the water in front of him rose up. A huge pavilion was riding the waves and approaching. This pavilion was not covered on all 4 sides. It was very simplistic. The cover was made of yellow grass. The pillars were gray-white rocks that were not polished. There was a folding screen, Sup 1/Sup, in the pavilion. It was the most elegant decoration in there. 4 goo immortals stood in the pavilion. They all had rank 7 cultivation level. Looking at Fang Yuan's incomplete immortal goo house, their eyes flashed with a dangerous light. This present and past pavilion is a pure time path immortal goo house. It can inspect the past and present. It is best at investigation. Heavenly Court placed it here. The moment I entered, they noticed. Amazing, amazing. Fang Yuan's heart sank a little, but he praised on the surface, explaining to Ying Wuxie and the rest. Ying Wuxie, by Ning Bing, and the rest frowned lightly, or had dark gazes. They understood something. Fang Yuan's incomplete immortal goo house was best at concealing traces. To think that present and past pavilion would be able to find them. This was like their advantage getting countered. Even before fighting, they had gotten into a passive situation. Present and past pavilion got to Fang Yuan and the rest before stopping, staying 1,000 steps away from the incomplete immortal goo house. Someone spoke coldly from within the pavilion. Central Continent's 4 Xuanzi are here to guard the river. Demon, don't think of advancing. A person behind him said, "That's right. You'll have to step over our corpses if you want to pass." For Xuanzi, Fang Yuan directly soul-searched Jun Xinguang and quickly got the information of these four people. It turned out that these four were Time Path Gu immortals. They were quadruplets, found by Spirit Butterfly Valley when they were young and specially nurtured. They comprised 3 older brothers and 1 younger sister. They were Shang Xuanzi, Zhong Xuanzi, Xia Xuanzi, and Sung Guazi respectively. Chapter 1629, Great Power of Time Path. Translator, Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios. According to Jun Xinguang's information, the 4 Xuanzi had the same rank 7 cultivation level. They had a combination technique with extraordinary power. Even against rank 8 Gu immortals, they could contest against them. Of course, they were only able to fight with that one move. After a few rounds, they would definitely lose to the rank 8 Gu immortal. They were not like the past Fang Yuan or Feng Gu with battle strength that could rival rank 8s. Even so, they were quite impressive. After nurturing the 4 Xuanzi, they had been kept hidden by Spirit Butterfly Valley. They were not easily deployed. Heavenly Court wants to make arrangements in the River of Time. Spirit Butterfly Valley had to comply. For Xuanzi, 4 time path experts with great cooperation, they are indeed the best candidates to control present and past pavilion. Fang Yuan frowned slightly. The 4 Xuanzi in present and past pavilion were not out of his expectations. Rank 8 Gu immortals that were also time path were very rare. Heavenly Court originally had Lord Huang Shi, but he had died in the River of Time last time after Fang Yuan made use of the Stone Lotus Island in order to deal with Fang Yuan and obstruct him in the River of Time. They had to choose people who were rank 7 time path Gu immortals, unless more antiques woke up from Heavenly Court's immortal graveyard. What made Fang Yuan more concerned was that other than present and past pavilion, Heavenly Court also had another time path immortal Gu house. Eternal Yacht. Present and past pavilion excels at investigation. It is nearby, so it was the first to obstruct me. I cannot stay here. Once the 4 Xuanzi delay long enough, Eternal Yacht would arrive to help it. It will be disadvantageous for me to face 2 enemies at once. Heavenly Court had a huge advantage in this. Even though they did not have time path rank 8s, they had members of other paths, along with 2 immortal Gu houses, present and past pavilion, and Eternal Yacht. In contrast, Fang Yuan only had 1 incomplete immortal Gu house, even though he became rank 8, He Lu Lan, by Ning Bing, and the rest were very weak. Fang Yuan immediately opened his immortal aperture's entrance, letting out a second batch of immemorial year beasts that he had used the first batch of immemorial year beasts in the 5 regional mountain range. They were injured or killed by Southern Border's righteous path. Fang Yuan did not manage to retrieve them, but it did not matter. Fang Yuan had a second batch. After annexing Xia Cha's immortal aperture, Fang Yuan obtained a second year essence pool. There were 2 immemorial year beasts inside. Furthermore, throughout the months, Fang Yuan had been using immemorial year beast fishing formation to lure immemorial year beasts to him, before capturing them inside the year essence pool. Thus, Fang Yuan obtained 2 batches of immemorial year beasts. The second batch had a total of 9 immemorial year beasts. The only flaw was that Fang Yuan did not manage to collect all 12 types of immemorial year beasts to form the ancient battle formation. He had tried to collect them during this period, but when he actually tried, he realized that getting a full set was very hard to achieve. He got the most number of immemorial year chickens, because recently, the River of Time was producing this type of year beasts. In Fang Yuan's second batch of immemorial year beasts, he had 5 chickens. More than half of the entire group. 9 immemorial year beasts roared as they charged towards present and past pavilion. Inside present and past pavilion, the 4 Xuanzi had grim expressions. They activated present and past pavilion's power together. Pew! A huge wave that was 10 meters tall crashed towards the 9 immemorial year beasts. Immemorial year beasts were beasts that belonged in the River of Time. Present and past pavilion's waves could not obstruct their movement. Instantly, they charged through the obstacle, creating countless splashes as they approached present and past pavilion. The surface of present and past pavilion shined with brilliant light. The light shot up like a huge pillar. Swish, swish, swish. Waves came after waves. They were like moving walls that could attack or defend, constantly crashing into the immemorial year beast at Fang Yuan's will. The immemorial year beast were instructed by him to cooperate. They shot out like an arrow, going past many walls of waves and reaching present and past pavilion. But all of a sudden, the four Xuanzi shouted as the folding screen in present and past pavilion turned into misty green fog. The green fog flew into the battlefield as the immemorial year beasts got affected. Their speed fell as if they had landed in a marsh. The green fog settled and fused into the water of the river of time, turning the surface of the water in this area jade green. Present and past pavilion shook intensely. The huge pillar of light faded and turned into green sparkles that enveloped the surroundings. The sound of crashing waves became even louder and more imposing. They were many times larger than before, 30 meters tall now. Not just that, tens of spirals formed on the surface of the river of time. They became excellent traps to restrain the immemorial year beasts. The 9 immemorial year beasts were originally gathered together, but after the obstruction of the waves, their formation broke apart as they fell into their own respective battles. Once, present and past pavilions stood at the center and controlled the situation. Fang Yuan's immemorial year beasts were all at a disadvantage. The four Xuanzi's expressions relaxed. Shang Xuanzi let out a breath of air. We finally got past the initial period. This demon did not break through. Sun Guozi smiled. Present and past pavilion has control of the situation now. Even though Fang Yuan has many immemorial year beasts, he cannot gather them. He is not a threat. That's right. Xia Xuanzi stroked his beard. Even though present and past pavilion is not his match anyway, as long as we can stall until eternal yacht arrives, by then our strength will surpass him. We will be able to win. Zhong Xuanzi had a deep gaze. The demon is crafty. We cannot be careless. Let's play safe. He had just spoken when the immemorial year monkey closest to present and past pavilion suddenly jumped up and used an immortal killer move. It held a huge fan in its hands as it waved towards the front. Rank 8 immortal killer move. Summer fan? Instantly, intense winds whipped, sweeping away everything. The entire battlefield became dark and gloomy. The huge waves resembling thick walls that were in front of the immemorial year monkey completely broke apart and collapsed due to summer fan. The immemorial year monkey snickered as it dived down. In present and past pavilion. The four Xuanzi were shocked. They noticed that Fang Yuan was disguised as the immemorial year monkey. That demon has joined the battle. Impossible. We have the investigative killer move from Lady Ziwei. We can expose familiar face. How did he manage to deceive us? Fang Yuan sneered internally. He had spent the last few months to its fullest, using all of his time and energy without any waste. He had naturally modified familiar face. Fang Yuan finally got to the four Xuanzi. Present and past pavilion burst out with brilliant light once again, while Fang Yuan relied on the immemorial year monkey's tough physique to punch with its strong fists. But present and past pavilion remained unmoving despite a loud sound. It is useless. Right now, present and past pavilion is anchored here in the river of time. How can you move it? Sun Guozi said with a nervous tone. Is that so? Fang Yuan's eyes shined with brilliant light. He used immortal killer move spring scissors at the next moment. Clip, clip, spring scissors cut continuously. Present and past pavilion was able to defend itself initially, but soon, the brilliant light on it was unable to last as spring scissors cut away a corner of the roof after 5 to 6 snips. This is a rank 8 time path killer move, but how can it be so powerful? Even present and past pavilion cannot match it? How can this be? The four Xuanzi were frantic. Fang Yuan's eyes were filled with cold, flickering lightning. He originally had over 70,000 time path down marks. It was at rank 8 level. Now that he became an immemorial year monkey, his transformation path down marks also turned into time path down marks, adding another 50,000. Thus, he had over 120,000 time path down marks now. Ordinary rank 7 Gu immortals would only have less than 30,000 down marks. 120,000 down marks was not common for rank 8 Gu immortals. They normally would have to pass one myriad tribulation to get such an accumulation. He could amplify any time path killer move by 120 times its power. and Fang Yuan was already using 2 rank 8 immortal killer moves. Even though present and past pavilion had the territorial advantage, Fang Yuan's killer move was also boosted by the environment of the River of Time. Thus, his time path battle strength soared to the extent that even present and past pavilion could not endure his attacks. Fang Yuan's 2 killer moves forced present and past pavilion back time and time again. The 4 Xuanzi tried to keep their stability in present and past pavilion, while attacking sometimes, but Fang Yuan did not even need defensive killer moves like Winter Coat. With just the immemorial year monkey's body, he could endure them. Hold on. A huge yacht was riding the waves, approaching them from afar. Several Gu immortals were shouting and having nervous expressions. Eternal yacht was nearby. Too late. Fang Yuan snickered. He waved the summer fan and whipped up some tornadoes. Present and past pavilion was shaking from the impact. It was about to collapse. Spring scissors flew towards it and snipped again. A pillar in present and past pavilion broke as it collapsed entirely. Fang Yuan laughed loudly as he jumped above present and past pavilion, stomping with his huge immemorial year monkey feet. Boom! The whole of present and past pavilion broke apart into pieces. The 4 Xuanzi were either dead or injured. They were all kicked into the River of Time. Fang Yuan and the incomplete immortal Gu house left with ease. When Eternal Yacht arrived, it was already too late. The Gu immortals in the yacht hesitated. Should they save the 4 Xuanzi or chase after Fang Yuan? 1. Chapter 1630, Stone Island Trap. Cough, cough. Shang Xuanzi sprawled on the deck of Eternal Yacht as he coughed. He had drunk a lot of water. He was drenched. Beside him, Xia Xuanzi had already fainted. His injuries were severe. His situation was not looking good. Rank 8 Gu immortal Qing Yu walked over and looked at Shang Xuanzi calmly. The other 2 have been swept away by the River of Time. We cannot find them. Shang Xuanzi breathed roughly for a while. He forcibly stood up, taking a glance at Xia Xuanzi before speaking with a pale expression. They have already died. That demon Fang Yuan is very powerful. How is the salvaging of present and past pavilion going? The 4 Xuanzi were siblings with deep kinship, but right now, Shang Xuanzi was more concerned about present and past pavilion. He did not pay attention to the dying Xia Xuanzi, nor did he display anger or sadness. Qing Yi smiled. The core immortal Gu have not been destroyed. We have recovered all of them. That's good. Shang Xuanzi let out a breath of air, his expression easing. Qing Yi nodded. I have already prepared the room for you. Shang Xuanzi. Thank you. I will go and revive my siblings now. It turned out that these quadruplets, with their very close bloodline, managed to create a unique killer move. Even if 3 of them died, as long as 1 remained, they could use the killer move to rapidly revive the other 3. Precisely so. Shang Xuanzi did not feel any sadness that a moment later, the 4 Xuanzi returned to the deck with no injuries. Entering battle once again, 4 Fang Yuan's second batch of immemorial year beasts were surrounding Eternal Yacht, attacking from all sides, desperately drawing their attention. The river water was turbulent. Sounds of waves crashing could be heard by Fang Yuan. Right now, he had returned to his original appearance. He entered the incomplete immortal Gu house to rest. With this incomplete immortal Gu house, Fang Yuan had a base. It was very useful. Eternal Yacht did not chase us. After leaving the battlefield for a while, Fang Yuan relaxed his mind slightly. The speed of the incomplete immortal Gu house could not match Eternal Yacht. Its specialty was in concealing its traces when moving. With present and past pavilion around, the incomplete immortal Gu house could not move stealthily. But Eternal Yacht could not detect the incomplete immortal Gu house. Otherwise, why would it not pursue him with such an advantage in speed? We are temporarily safe. Ing Wuxie breathed out deeply, feeling some lingering fear. It was quite dangerous earlier. Indeed, if sect leader did not destroy present and past pavilion, we might have fallen into a tough battle and would not be able to escape. Fairy Miao Yin smiled. Bai Ningbing was silent at the side. He Lulan looked outside the immortal Gu house, at the grand river of time. Fang Yuan's time path clone was frowning with his eyes shut. He was trying to track the islands, but his vital Gu spring autumn cicada had no reactions. In fact, according to Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's deduction, the higher spring autumn cicada's rank was the larger the range of its detection to find Red Lotus true inheritance. Fang Yuan's spring-autumn cicada was only rank 6, even though he had many immortal goo recipes. Fang Yuan's multiple attempts at refining it ended in failure. It was regrettable, but Fang Yuan had done his best already for the last few months. He had put in all his effort to cultivate soul path, explore dream realms, modify killer moves, extort southern border's righteous path, plot for the overall situation, defend against deductions, annex immortal apertures, and so on. He had expended his time and energy. It was already a miracle that he could squeeze out some time to refine spring-autumn cicada. But the real miracle did not happen. Fang Yuan's refinement attempts failed. Even though spring-autumn cicada is rank 6, I have already made up for the flaws in other aspects. Fang Yuan's eyes shined with deep confidence. He had planned deeply before entering the river of time. Fang Yuan had already used luck path methods like burning soul-bursting luck. He had only stopped after reaching the limit in this vast river of time. Finding 1 or 2 stone lotus islands was purely dependent on luck. Roar. The river waters suddenly became turbulent as sounds of beast growls entered their ears. There are 2 immemorial year beasts fighting ahead. After inspecting it, Ing Wu Xiao alerted. Looking at it closely, these 2 immemorial year beasts had already fought for some time. They were near their limit. Fang Yuan laughed. Wasn't this the work of luck path? He flew out of the incomplete immortal goo house and activated familiar face, becoming a part of the river water as he blended into the river of time. Next, he opened a trace of his immortal aperture's entrance and activated the immemorial year beast fishing formation. The 2 immemorial year beasts detected the delicacy. Their movement stopped. They charged towards Fang Yuan like they were competing in a race. They did not find any enemies, but they sensed a tributary of the river of time under the river water. The immemorial year beasts did not think much. They charged into this tributary of the river of time. This was naturally Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture. If it were in the past, Fang Yuan would not dare to lure these immemorial year beasts. They would cause huge destruction to the sovereign immortal aperture if they went in. But now, times were different. Fang Yuan had year essence pools, 2 in fact. The year essence pools were connected to the tributary of the river of time like huge dams. The immemorial year beasts were lured by the formation, following the tributary of the river of time until they rushed into the dam, becoming trapped. Fang Yuan smiled heartily as he stopped the transformation killer move. He flew back into the incomplete immortal goo house. Those 2 immemorial year monkeys were trapped in the year essence pools. They could not find any food and sensed something amiss. But how could they return to the river of time now? Fang Yuan used his enslavement path methods and quickly subdued these 2 immemorial year beasts. The incomplete immortal goo house moved stealthily as it searched for a stone lotus island. Fang Yuan met many year beasts along the way. He took in all of them, luring them into the year essence pools and subduing them. Soon, Fang Yuan's number of immemorial year beasts rose to 6th, and even more ancient and desolate level year beasts. Other than year beasts, there were other life forms like day beasts, month beasts, or dark web spiders in the river of time. Fang Yuan had chosen to ignore them all. The use of the year essence pools was amply displayed here. With TH, Fang Yuan could lure immemorial year beasts while keeping sovereign immortal aperture very safe. Without their restriction, the immemorial year beasts would be able to move along the tributary of the river of time and go to anywhere in the sovereign immortal aperture, because the tributary was present all over the whole sovereign immortal aperture. Wait. After moving for a while, Fang Yuan's time path clone opened his eyes. Bursting with bright light, he seemed to have found something. The time path clone quickly shut his eyes as he frowned deeply, trying to sense it. Next, he pointed in one direction. There seems to be something there. Spring-autumn cicada shuddered a little. The time path clone spoke with uncertainty, but this was the only clue. Fang Yuan manipulated the incomplete immortal goo house and changed directions, going towards that place. As the distance shortened, Fang Yuan's clone felt increasingly happy. The feeling is getting stronger. Our luck is really not bad. We found it so quickly. A while later, in the vision of Fang Yuan and the rest, a thin layer of fog appeared. The incomplete, immortal goo house halted for a moment before rushing into the fog with no hesitation. The fog was extraordinary. It could obscure one's sense of direction and confuse them. But using the key spring-autumn cicada, Fang Yuan's clone could move in the proper direction. The fog got thicker. The river water also moved slower due to its effect. It was not as turbulent as the water outside. Vaguely, the silhouette of an island appeared before Fang Yuan and the rest. Stone Lotus Island. Red Lotus True Inheritance. Ing Wuxie stared wide and shouted loudly. Bai Ning Bing and the rest also started to breathe roughly. When the incomplete immortal goo house got to the periphery of the Stone Lotus Island, the island shot out a white light that hit the incomplete immortal goo house directly. What is going on? Fairy Meowing screamed. Oh no, this is a trap. Fang Yuan's eyes shined with a sharp light. It was too late to escape now. The entire incomplete immortal goo house shook intensely. It could not resist the strong attacks outside. Demon, I have been waiting for you for a long time. A rank 8 goo immortal with a tall muscular body appeared on the Stone Lotus Island, the next moment. His killer move that had been prepared for a while hit the incomplete immortal goo house. Boom! The incomplete immortal goo house broke apart at once.